Sometimes it's hard to find your zen, and it's difficult to accept when circumstances deal you a bad hand. I set out to speak with Patty MacRae about her yoga studio, located at the Crow's Nest from July 5th to the 12th. We had a truly delightful and educational conversation. I ended the recording with a smile on my face, and then I put it aside to lightly edit and touch up later. Well, when I returned to the file, it was corrupted. Not completely gone, but with skips and gaps due to whatever digital devils live inside my recording device. I was pissed. I went through all the emotions. I denied that it happened and opened and closed the file repeatedly, probably a half dozen times, before admitting that, in fact, there was a real problem. I thought anxiously about emailing Patty and asking her for a do-over. But that seemed especially wrong, given that we had such a great conversation. We'd likely be trying to repeat it, and it wouldn't flow as well. Not to mention, I didn't really want to tell her, hey, that interview that you entrusted to me? It's scrambled. I bet you've had moments like this too. I know that's not when I'm my best self, going from anger to anxiety and feeling defeated and back all over again. It helps remember you don't have to be perfect, and to put things into perspective. We can all probably use more of that in 2023, and at least now, those ideas are starting to be part of the national conversation. We owe Patty and other ancient healing instructors our gratitude for helping to raise awareness of these tools, techniques, and lifestyles. So, I took some deep breaths, and I went to work trying to do justice to our conversation. Here's the result. A report on the Shala, opening July 5th at the Crow's Nest. Well, thank you so much, Patty, for joining me and for talking about the exhibit that you're doing with the Crow's Nest this coming week out here on Peaks Island. Can you tell me a little bit about the origins of the exhibit and your work with Danielle at the Crow's Nest?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. So last year, I began my project of Peaks Island Yoga, and I started teaching seasonal yoga on the island here. And I met Danielle through class, through the student of mine. And so as I was gearing up for this summer, I reached out to her and asked if she would like me to maybe come sometime to the galleries, the Crow's Nest, and do a little tarot reading, because I also do that as well. And then it was just this synchronistic thing where no one had booked the space. And it was one of the most, popular weeks on Peaks Island, July 5th to the 12th. And she said, well, you could just take the whole space and have it for that week if you want to do that. And then that sounded really great to me. And it was an excuse to bring all my cool yoga stuff up and all my wall hangings of the deities and my statues.
Patty MacRae is a yoga teacher and a holistic health instructor, but she didn't start that way. She says she held a number of jobs in the past, but it was her experience of back pain from an injury that led her to embrace a different way of life. At first, Patty listened to her doctors, taking painkillers despite not really wanting to. They didn't relieve her pain or heal her injury. So that led Patty to seek out yoga for the first time. As Patty took these initial steps on her healing journey, she decided to dig deeper. This led to a whole new path filled with classes, certifications, lots of reading, and a graduate studies program. Now, Patty offers yoga instruction, meditation classes, tarot readings, and holistic health services through her website, pattymacraeyoga.com. In 2022, she started a second website and summer gig at peaksislandyoga.com after experiencing the hassle firsthand of going back and forth to town for yoga classes. All of Patty's work and study, she says, serves the purpose of awakening in herself and others the inner wisdom that can lead to self-healing and a new way of seeing health.
There's been a lot of surrender to the professionals, like thinking that we don't know care of ourselves and we have to tell us what to do. I think we're moving away from that. And I think people are seeing that their ability to heal them is much greater than what they're told. And it's through these practices that they can start to really experience that and start to feel the messages from the inner wisdom of their bodies and how they can heal themselves.
I asked Patty if this plays a significant role in marginalized communities, including people of color and people who identify as female. Patty agreed that modern medicine can sometimes put the wisdom of marginalized peoples on the sideline, inadvertently disempowering the individuals they're trying to treat. Ultimately, Patty believes we need to synthesize ancient medicine and modern medicine. And in case you're worried that self-healing means going it alone, Patty sees her work and ancient practices as supporting a cooperative and constructive way of health.
We do need somebody to help us along the way, but it's not that we need someone to actually tell us what to do. It's finding this, whenever you find a healer, it's you really can click with, you can identify with. And so I think just generally, we need to move away from culturally a societal perspective, hierarchical view of the boss is telling what to do and you need to listen to directions. And we're moving more towards this Sangha, satsang community, a model where we're all helping each other. And it doesn't need, we can all work in a circular pattern rather than like a ladder, right? So, we're all kind of equal, but we're all also unique and can offer something to everybody else in the circle.
Maybe you've seen the recent studies that say even popular anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen, while dulling pain, do little to help the body heal and can actually slow recovery. Patty says that holistic health can help fill that gap. She also singles out Gabor Mate as a leading practitioner recognizing the psychological roots of chronic pain, which can result from trauma and other psychological sources.
He has done incredible work around trauma and chronic illness. And what's so interesting about him is that he started out as a medical doctor. And so his patients were coming in with these chronic illnesses. And what he was recognizing was that when he asked about their personal lives, that it was actually lining up with the physical symptoms, the fact that they had so much stress, trauma, and that was creating in their bodies. And he had incredible books about that. One is called When the Body Says No. And it's providing many examples of exactly how this works within his patients. There have been more and more studies showing that chronic pain, especially any kind of chronic illness, even beyond pain, has psychological root. It's not physiological. And a lot of pain can actually be remedied by investigating trauma or repressed emotion.
Patty says that many tools are available to help you work through self-healing and supplementing your care. In her own experience of healing back pain, she said the book The Mind-Body Connection was instrumental, and so were the techniques she read about and honed since.
And so I think that is directly how, meditation, breath work, and, even vinyasa yoga can all help us to address the chronic is to the deeper level of mind that might be manifesting physically in our bodies.
If you're dealing with serious trauma, Patty recommends that you have a guide through your healing journey, whether that's a meditation or yoga teacher or even a therapist. In her own work, she tries to have therapist recommendations at hand in case people need additional support. If you're intrigued by these ideas of tapping into your inner wisdom and engaging in healing, Patty has some recommendations for continuing education.
Yeah, if it's on this kind of topic of psychology manifesting in the body, Gabor Mate's work that's definitely the place to start. The Body Keeps the Score is incredible.
Patty is also offering for folks to browse her own personal library while she's at the Crow's Nest.
So I have a kind of little library going on if people want to come and check out my books here and sit on the deck and read some of the books and browse the library I have lots of different topics on meditation, yoga, this whole idea of the mind-body connection, subtle energy, and all of this. Come talk to me at the Shala, the Crow's Nest. And I have lots of book recommendations. I'm also a grad student studying integral health, so I read a lot. I always have book recommendations for anything you can.
Terrific. So what are your hours at the Crow's Nest? When can people find you?
So I open up on Wednesday, July 5th, and I'm just going to open the evening to do 4 o'clock. I'm going to do meditation and pranayama class. Pranayama is yogic breathing, so we'll do some breath work and meditation. And then I'm just going to have an open house until about 6 p.m. People can come in. I'll have chai.
In addition to opening night activities, you can sign up for classes, check out the schedule, and even pay for sessions at peaksislandyoga.com. If you have questions, Patty would love to talk with you. You can stop by the studio or email her at pattymacraeyoga@gmail.com. That's PATTYMACRAE yoga@gmail.com. Thanks for listening to this report. I hope the conversation and any efforts you take to embrace healing bring you a little closer to your inner wisdom and encourage you to seek out more. For more Island Conversations, please visit peaksislandradio.com or search for Peaks Island Radio in your podcast app.